All rise for the RankKing's court.
Yo, thank you everybody for spending your time viewing the RankKing's court that's presented by Thoughts from the Bench. Shout out to Deke, Austin, Vo, and Greg makes the round table complete. Heard the Joshaholics were fiending, so I'm claiming the throne for the evening. We speaking about rap and we gon' have a great debate. And if you play or hate, I'ma be straight, but you know cap it's on. What's up everybody? How you doing today?
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
that was
There's the
good.
rap
I
king.
appreciate that.
That
the
was
Rap King.
good.
Welcome to the RapKing's court, people.
That's without the W. Without the W. No.
I got to tell you guys, I'm a little nervous to be hosting tonight.
Why? This isn't your first. It's not like it's not your
your
first time.
third time,
but
right?
to be like the I
Third
think
time
the
on the
third
show,
time,
third
yeah.
time's a
But
charm.
To be
Yeah.
the top guy, you know,
We got your back though.
Yeah,
Okay.
heavy is the head that wears the crown. Why do you
Thank
think
you.
Austin's head is so heavy? Yeah,
he's got a big head.
he's got a big head. Exactly.
Shout out to Austin.
Yeah, shout out to Austin.
Shout out to Austin.
Which, in case anyone was curious, the reason that he is not here today is things got a little heated last week. In case you couldn't tell, there was a massive amount of Taco Bell that was in this studio. A lot of biting was taking place, and a lot of speed racing back to his place in northern part of Pittsburgh was occurring as well. He was not in the best state of mind to probably come in for another week, so we decided to give him a week off, if you will. Well, or we didn't decide to do it. Technically, he proclaimed that he was taking a week off after.
He's still suffering.
He is still
He's
suffering.
still suffering from all
The
Taco
amount
Bell.
of leftovers. My God. And could you imagine eating 22 Taco Bell items in one setting?
Absolutely not. He said.
Not-
Vo told
not
me
the
he was
whole
doing
thing,
that. I
not
said,
the whole
Not,
thing,
not the whole
but-
thing. He took 22 bites of different things, by the way.
That's honestly still disgusting.
Mhm.
And knowing Austin, I bet he took a big bite too.
They were
so-
pretty
They
big
were big
bites,
bites, yes. I was
What-
I was surprised he didn't do more than one bite on a couple of them, honestly.
He wanted to,
He wanted to?
but near the end, he kind of got like he was just out of it.
He's like, this is delicious.
He was like
but
food drunk, basically.
Can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that happens. We all get food drunk from time to time, and quite frankly, he probably had some bad sweats after the fact, but thankfully the ranking is on the mend. He just was not up for it today, and who can blame him? I mean, my stomach would be destroyed if that was the case.
Get
as
well
well.
soon, Austin.
Yeah, get well. We'll see you next
We'll
week.
send you a card.
Yep. Just real quick, by the way, was there any thoughts on the ranking from him last week about the Taco Bell order? Did you have any comments about that? Just out of curiosity.
You know, I did. I'd have to pull it back up
Okay.
because there was something that I was
I got
like,
you covered.
that's
That-
just ridiculous.
Because I will say, the heat was real. Not just from the food that he ate, but the heat was very real just from the socials and from other people that are part of the Thoughts from the Bench community as
Yeah.
well. They were not too thrilled with some of the stuff that he had to say right there. So we have the list up for you right now.
So, what was it? The cinnamon twist, I think, should have been a little higher.
Interesting.
I
Really?
guess the potatoes down a little bit.
I don't like the cinnamon twist at all.
Crunchwrap higher.
Yeah,
Crunchwrap
I agree with
deserved.
that.
Crunchwrap 100% deserved to be higher.
Also, I'm a big chalupa guy, so
Mm.
put that up a little higher.
Okay.
The Doritos, Locos, Tacos, I'd move down a little lower.
Interesting. You don't buy into the hype?
I don't. I mean, they're good.
Mm.
But they're nothing that, I'd go there strictly for. like a crunch wrap, I'm going there for the crunch wrap.
You're going for the crunch wrap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Now-
or a good gordita or
now-
a chalupa.
Now, something that we did propose last week as well. Technically, Austin did not have the entire menu at Taco Bell because technically
Yeah.
there is.
It was everything that they had basically
Right.
in stock.
So you
Right.
picked it up, right?
I picked up half. He picked up the other half.
Okay. Were you just like, hey, give me these items, or
I
you're
we
just like,
we both ordered online.
Oh,
picked them
okay,
up.
that's smart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
went in though, and they're like, "Why are there 2 bags for Ryan?" I was like, like, "They're both mine."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it could have been a little bit aggressive, but we also think that technically he didn't have the entire menu item because technically there's
Okay.
there's a breakfast menu
I was
item.
gonna say there's something missing. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I feel like
Yeah.
something on there was missing.
So personally, we are saying that Austin technically should do a ranking of all the breakfast items at Taco Bell.
Okay. I've never had Taco Bell breakfast. I hear it's amazing.
I have not either. I would bet you some of it is quite delicious, I will say, but off the top of my head, I can't think of it. Have you ever had Taco Bell breakfast?
Maybe one time.
Okay.
Like one item.
Okay. So
Our buddy Fogel, you know Fogel, right?
of course I know
Yeah.
Fogel.
Shout out to Fogel.
All right.
He what was that a breakfast pizza that he sent us in on Snapchat?
That was the Mexican pizza they had.
okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That thing did look gross.
Well,
Not
to
gonna lie.
each their own. The Mexican pizza though is back, and unfortunately Austin was also not able to get that. So clearly there
Yeah.
there has to be a Taco Bell ranking part 2 eventually. Part 2, if you will. Yes.
I don't know if he'll go for that though.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, so since all of us are in the studio today, since you are the humbled guest, I think it's only fitting that I ask you, where are we tonight, good sir?
You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the RankKing's / RapKing's court is live today from the
There we
Union
go.
Fitness Studios. Located on North Shore of Pittsburgh, Union Fitness is more than a traditional gym. It is a place where you can transform yourself inside and out with a variety of classes based around fitness, yoga, strength, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe that this is their duty to hold themselves
okay.
and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union Fitness the community that it is. Go to unionfitness.com today to sign up for a consultation. Through Union, there is strength. I never know which way to go. On
No,
that.
no, it's okay. You're good. Austin usually gets the wrong one, so you were actually on. You were
Yeah,
actually
that
on
was-
point.
that
this
was
one.
I
perfect.
just wasn't in the frame.
Yeah. So, Foreigner, we thank you, by the way, for being our honorary king
Thank
today.
you. I appreciate you guys asking me.
Yeah,
This
of course.
yeah,
You'll be
it's an honor.
you'll be a lot nicer than our other king who doesn't really have
I
manners.
am not a tyrant, so
No, you rule. You don't rule with an iron fist. You're a man.
He's
of
the
people.
king of the people.
He
yeah.
is the king of the
Yes.
people. Yeah, he is the people's
that's what I've
king.
been told.
The people's king. So people's king. Since we brought you on, what was the subject that you wanted to today? Since you
Today's subject, if you didn't hear the rap at the beginning,
we did. It was glorious.
It's all about rap music. It's all
All-
about rap and hip hop, baby.
Okay, so this is something that I'm glad you brought up because Austin doesn't. I don't think Austin even understands what hip hop or rap is. I have never heard him try to like figure out what it is. I've never heard him listen. I've never seen him listen to it. I've never seen him vibe to it. So this is gonna be a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
What made you decide to pick this topic?
It's something that I've always grown up on, and you
Okay.
know, something that I really like. It's between rap and metal, those are my two like favorite genres, and rap probably edges it out a little bit.
Well, I mean, rap metal is also
that is true.
is a genre.
true.
Let's be
Yeah,
clear
just
about
put them
that.
both together.
Exactly. That's where a lot of stuff happens. That's how basically Bring Me the Horizon decided to change into that type of music,
Yeah.
essentially. So
Yeah, that one album was
one album
a good
smashes,
bit,
yes.
yeah.
But
How does I want to know how the people feel about rap music. Hit us in the chat. Let us know.
mhm.
Let us know who your favorite rapper is. Any standouts for you? Any songs that you're listening to now?
Well, I'm assuming a lot of our opinions are probably going to be said as we go through this episode as
Yeah.
well. So
yeah.
They might cheer you on. They might.
Boo
I know.
you.
I honestly
They
am
might
waiting
root
to
against
see.
you.
yeah. So
I'm not seeing anybody though.
nah.
So,
So
you know,
it's all right. It's
I'm a
early.
little-
It's early. So mileage, if you will, you should take us into it.
All right, we got the radical ranking, numero uno. The radical ranking number 1 is going to be top rap groups.
Oh, this should be a good one.
Now, okay, so here's some question for this.
'Kay.
Are we talking like groups that were like originally like they came in as groups, or are we talking like super groups kind of stuff that kind of like, you know, of people that might have formed at one point or something, or
It includes everyone.
okay,
Yeah, anybody can make the list.
anybody
Doesn't-
can make
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you were, separate and then came together.
Is it-
if you
is-
were known separately?
Is this essentially something where you do not want to make the list?
No, you definitely want to make the list. Why wouldn't you want to make the list?
I was trying to throw a list thing at you and you just completely missed it.
Oh. Yeah, they
It's
are
alright.
going
It's
to
alright, King.
make the list.
It's all right, King. You're okay. You're okay.
What were those chats over there?
Yeah, we're having issue with on the stream here. but
Vo's giving us a little technical
have-
difficulty.
yeah,
But
he's
we have it
not-
up.
We have it up.
We have it up. It's okay.
Thank you,
Mama
Mama.
White said Eminem. So Eminem better be talked about on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the nice job. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Oh, we did have comments about your intro.
Big Chip.
Yeah. Ping
It's good
liked
to see
it.
you. Thank you, Ping.
That's all we need to know. That's all we need right there. That's awesome. All right.
Love to see it. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah. So, all right, 400. Let's start us off, bud. What we got?
All right. Number 5 is. Hold up. Run the Jewels. If-
RTJ.
RTJ. If you don't know this group, you better get familiar.
That's me.
You don't know RTJ?
He
Nah,
did just listen to
I
it a
did
little
listen
bit.
Oh
to it. when
my
I got
But it
here.
was like
God.
while he was busy, so I don't think he got to really like
Yeah, I'll
get the
have to
effect.
go back and.
I'm
listen
telling
to
you,
that.
they have 4 albums.
4.
Every
Four.
yes,
So
4 albums.
they're pretty new then.
Yeah, I mean,
Or they've been around. For a
they've been
while?
around for probably like 4. No, probably more than that. Probably
Yeah.
6 or 7 years.
I will be 100% honest with you. The first time I ever heard any RTJ was the very first trailer for Black Panther when it was
Okay.
Step in the Spotlight.
Yeah,
And I
oh,
went,
yeah.
and I heard the beat and I heard the music. I was just like, oh my god, what is this?
Oh, yeah.
I actually did go back and I listened to some of their stuff. Yeah, they're oh my god,
Yeah.
they're excellent. They were. What's crazy about them too is that both of them have been around for a long time.
yeah.
too.
LP has been around since like early 90s.
Mhm.
Killer
Oh, wow.
Mike has probably been around since the same time, but he didn't really come into it till like 2000s, early 2000s, I'd say. But yeah, like the first time I listened to LP, I was like, I don't know what this is. Like,
Mhm.
he's kind of like, or at least that time was like
Mhm.
kind of like a weird rap to me, because I was like so into gangster rap at that time.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was like just different. And then Killer Mike was kind of like gangster, but like
Mhm.
metaphors and all that stuff.
I got you.
But yeah, like didn't think that those would like go together,
Mhm.
but they complement each other so well. I mean, their styles are a lot more similar now, I think. But every single song that they have put out, it's a bop.
Pop. What's your favorite song? Do you have a favorite?
Any recommendations off the top?
Yeah, like
Oh,
if
man.
I'm gonna go home and listen to them on the way home, like what should I listen to?
Honestly, I would recommend if you just had Spotify, just put on like their most popular songs, and you'll get that vibe like right away.
My-
Honestly,
That's an easy answer.
My-
Greg.
no, but I swear it's
my top favorite song is probably an a Christmas effing miracle.
Okay.
I hadn't heard that in a while.
yeah.
So that's a holiday
it's like-
holiday song.
Oh yeah,
All
I
the
love yeah.
carolers.
I love listening to it in the car because the bass just shakes. I don't even have like subwoofers or anything, but man, that goes up.
You strike me as a subwoofer guy. I don't know why, Foreign George.
I don't have subwoofers.
I
but
kind of get
man,
that vibe. Honestly.
I'm about to get some.
Okay. Just for that, I
Telling
love
you.
it. All right. So what we got for number 4?
All right, number 4, we got Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Talk about, by the way, a comeback. Just throwing that out there. Like I remember these guys from the '90s.
Mhm.
And then just out of nowhere, I think mid 2000s, like late 2000s, I remember they did a comeback and it was only 3 of them.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I was thrown off by it at first, but it was but their stuff was actually pretty good, I got to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's
Shout out to Vogue, got the chat working on our side, so that's
Woo!
awesome.
Let's go.
Mhm.
forget what I was gonna say.
It's okay. We were
all right.
celebrating.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Continue.
That's a big
Continue.
win.
It's not
Big win.
it's not every day that you get to celebrate Vo.
No. It's
No,
true.
definitely
Very
not.
true.
This was one of the first, like, whenever I got into rap, this was legit like the first thing that I heard was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
And it was just like different, like that. You know, I heard like the popular stuff on the radio and stuff, but like nothing like Bone that like really like grabbed my attention.
I would say, I mean, they're well known for probably Crossroads. That's
yeah.
that's like their top song. I remember the video because it actually does have like, I think it hits you a little bit because the part of the video where like Eazy-E's like ghost is like passing through and stuff like that like kind of like hits people in the feels right away.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, even after that, like some of their other stuff was actually pretty good. I'm not familiar with a lot of their newer stuff though, but I know they do still are around.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they do a lot more solo acts now, but
Okay.
I like their older music, honestly, more than their newer stuff. But Busy Bone and Crazy Bone just had a album come out, I think, 2 years ago, roughly. They did together, and every song on there is just awesome. So I definitely recommend that. I think it was called Waves.
Okay.
But yeah.
I love that. I love that Vo's just writing these down to make sure that he has this on the car ride home. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, making
That's
sure.
what I always do.
All right.
Do my
Love to
research after.
introduce Vo to new music.
Hey, literally, we're in a music league about it too, so it works out. Which I'm going
Yeah.
to win, by the way.
Not gonna win.
Yes,
Hey.
I am.
2 out of 5 right now. Just
Damn
saying.
right. Just saying. Shh. Don't want people.
Sorry.
Don't want people to know what. I mean,
All right, Forger.
All right,
What do you have
number
for number
3.
3?
Number 3 is GUnit.
Jesus Christ. If there was ever a group that like tried to push itself into mainstream as fast as they did, it was definitely this one.
Absolutely, and
Oh my
honestly,
God.
I love Bone Thugs and Harmony a lot more than GUnit, but
I feel like you could say that about a lot of people.
Oh,
in
yeah.
fairness.
but because GUnit's popularity was just so huge and so fast, and it went along for a while too, a couple years.
You know what annoys me too? So like I listened to before 2 Beers Deep, I listened to Kid Cudi radio on Spotify because it like gets me in the mood and stuff like that. And lately, it's been like this weird mix of stuff from like the early 2000s to like some of the newer stuff, and Lloyd Banks is on it.
Okay.
And it was the first time I had heard Lloyd Banks in probably a decade.
Probably since 2000.
Probably since 2000, and I was so thrown off by it. And I'm like, I needed to look at like I need to like figure out what the hell Spotify was trying to do to me, and that was the first time in a while I've heard that. I vaguely remember some of their stuff because I remember 50 like was on like was like a feature on almost every single other person on here just to try to help get them over and stuff. And I mean, part of the time it worked. I'll give them that, but I think they're more well known for just the ridiculous amount of like merch that they got.
And they started the whole like spinner thing. Like everybody had spinner everything.
Because of
spinner
GUnit.
chains,
Because of GUnit.
spinner
Yeah.
hubcaps.
John Cena had a spinner belt
Yup.
because of GUnit. That is
There you
definitely
go.
not
Yeah.
wrong.
That lasted way too long as well.
It did.
All right, we got number 2. Number 2 is WuTang Clan.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was never a big Wu-Tang fan growing up. I got into them I got into them very late, and I respect Wu-Tang for the fact too that like they've always been that like they're kind of like the Radiohead of rap, where they're cool, but like they've never like kind of gone like over that mainstream
Over
hype.
that little hump.
Right, they've never like gone above and beyond that. Like they're super popular and stuff, but they're not like over.
They have like their own little following.
Yes.
They haven't gotten to the mainstream.
Exactly.
Honestly, I think, and I'm not trying to take anything away from any of them, I think their logo, like, kind of is more polarizing than they were. And I think that's why
Oh, it's a
they're
brand.
a lot more popular.
Oh, it's a brand.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes that thing too. Like they probably make more money just off of the logo than they do their music, which
Yeah.
is saying something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're such a great group. There's every single one of them brings something to the table. There's 9 of them. At least there was. Rest in peace, ODB.
Was there
a
really
big group.
originally 9?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I also think, if I remember correctly, there is a series about Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
Correct. It's on Hulu, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
it's
Hulu.
the Saga of WuTang Clan. I think that's the right name. I could be
Okay.
wrong. But yeah, I also honestly, whenever I first started to listen to them, I didn't connect with them right away.
Mm-hmm.
I had their one album and I listened to it once and I was like, again, more gangster rap,
Right.
and they're different, and their beats are a lot dirtier than what you hear on the radio and what I was used to at that time.
Okay.
But I definitely got into them a little later. But yeah, I definitely think they're number 2 for sure.
So that leaves us with one more for number 1.
Number 1
What do you got?
is NWA.
I gotta give them credit because that their entire story essentially revitalized just how popular NWA is. Like the movie is Straight Outta Compton is an incredible movie.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you've never seen it, I highly recommend it for the
Yep.
record. But then it also like made people go back and just listen to how good the music was, and also when you think about it, they were way ahead of their time
Oh, 100%.
with regards to their music because
Yeah.
in the 80s, like with the style that they were doing, no one was ready for that.
Right.
To the point that like they would incite riots just because of the fact that it would offend people, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
was just them speaking their mind,
Mm-hmm.
which essentially is what music kind of is.
Yeah.
when you think about it.
exactly.
And this is definitely like the super group here. You got Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, MC Ren and DJ Yellow were in there as well, but
Mhm.
I mean, I'm sure they did stuff afterwards after NWA broke up, but you don't really hear about them. So
Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest lyricists of our generation and one of the greatest producers of our generation came from this group.
Yep.
So that's
That's a win. They
that's
deserve
a
number one,
massive
yeah.
Absolutely.
massive win. And your honorable mentions on your part?
Number 6,
was-
as some
I was thinking
rankings would say.
Yeah.
I was thinking of having Slaughterhouse in here.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard of them.
I feel like I have, but no.
That's Royce the 5'9", Joe Budden, Crooked Eye, and Joel Ortiz.
Crooked Eye.
Crooked Eye.
Never heard of
that's way over
Okay,
the top for me.
Yeah, they're probably about 6 years old, but
I would have thrown in the only
They're
academy.
6-year-old rappers.
Interesting. No, it makes a lot of sense. I would have thrown in the only Academy Award winning hip hop group ever, at least as far as I'm aware of, 3 6 Mafia.
I did think about them as well, because they were really popular at
Yeah.
the time too.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Could have Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys actually would
Oh,
count.
yeah,
That's fair.
Beastie
Yeah.
Boys,
Beastie
yep.
Boys is probably.
I never really got into Beastie Boys that much.
D12. It's another one.
Yeah.
I
I don't know if
they'd
they'd be
12,
top,
but like
top 5,
they're.
but
I don't think they're definitely
yeah.
top 5.
Insane
not at
Clown Posse.
all. ICP.
Gosh, don't put those.
You a fan of Fago? And just out
I do
curiosity?
like Fago.
You do
but
like
that's as far
Fago.
as- that's as
Okay.
far as I go.
Okay, makes
Chip
sense.
said great number 1.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chip. I appreciate you.
What other ones?
Morgan
Outkast.
did tell me that you face paint, that you put face paint on it. all the
I
time,
would not
so-
be surprised at all if he does that in
No,
his spare
yep,
time.
no.
Although his hair would get like very messed up pretty quickly.
Mhm.
That's a hell
Why
of
do
a,
you think I wear hats all the time?
it's a hell of a beard you've been growing out, by the way. Just saying.
Does
Yeah.
look nice.
Ginger
Mhm.
beard.
That playoff beard.
Playoffs are done. It's a
Well.
Legion playoff beard.
Oh
There you
Jesus.
go.
All right. So
Me too.
Oh, we got a
Alright.
comment.
I can't believe
First
you
time
got-
chatter.
Bone
I
Thugs.
can't believe you had Bone Thugs at 4. We had to listen to that nonstop.
Well, tastes apparently
It's true.
change as someone gets older, so
yeah,
it happens.
that is true.
It
I
happens.
honestly, I'm surprised my parents didn't like break the CD.
Because you just
I
kept
was-
listening to it.
I listened to it in the living room, blasting it all the time. Or if I was in my room, I'd blast it to make sure that they heard it.
Oh, that you
So
were
it's,
probably.
it's probably their number 1.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
Mm.
that is my mom. Also,
All right.
so shout out to my mommy.
All right. I would say that was a great start, but I am curious to
Solid
see
ranking.
what else you have going on next,
Alright.
bud.
We got a radical ranking number 2 coming up. Radical ranking number 2 takes a look at the best diss songs.
Oh.
Now, I'm just gonna point this out that I feel like any single rap song or hip hop song ever can technically qualify as a diss song to a degree.
That's true.
In some sort of way, there is
Yeah.
something in there. Just saying. But like I'm curious about this because I think there are definitely some very famous ones. But I'm also
yeah.
but I bet you're gonna pull out some stuff we probably wouldn't even think of as diss songs either.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
We'll see, Greg.
Yeah, you
Alright,
might know
alright.
these.
Okay.
But Chip, why isn't Fago pop? What is it?
Yeah. Fago's its own category apparently.
Just its own drink,
It's trash, just like Vo.
just like this ranking's about to be.
Oh, I'm just kidding, Vo. We got a championship to win.
We do.
All right.
But first, radical ranking number 2.
Yes, absolutely.
That would have been a much better transition than
Yeah.
what I tried. So nice job on that one,
Play
bud.
the intro again.
a little
No,
late.
no, let's not do that.
All right, number 5 is The Story of Adidon by Pusha T. Have you heard of this one?
Wow. That's a bit of I have heard this one actually. I completely forgot about this one.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting like a newer one, honestly. For you.
No, honestly, I thought about. We'll go into the honorable mentions later, but
Mm.
I thought about some.
Okay.
But this one, I feel like, so he's going at Drake, and I feel like every line, even if it's not like a direct hit,
Mhm.
it's still like scathing,
Yeah.
and it's still just like something that would just get under your skin and like eat at you.
Right.
He
Sto-
definitely took a lot of shots at him, basically saying he's keeping a baby secret. His baby's mom is a porn star. He was keeping the baby overseas.
Wow.
Yeah. He even went after his producer who has MS.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah,
No, it's
that
definitely
is
not.
messed
that
up.
part's not
So
cool.
like, it's rough.
Mhm. Still would rather be Aubrey. Just saying.
My mom says I don't like anyone that disses Drake.
I gotta side with your mom on that. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this either. Plus Pusha's not like the cleanest person either. Let's be
Oh,
clear about
no,
that
for
one.
sure.
So
And I didn't realize that their beef started in like 2011.
was that
It was
long
actually-
ago?
yeah.
Jeez.
It actually started, and they only did like little shots here and there in songs.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like real like direct disses too much until this one.
I didn't realize it was that long ago. That would
Yeah,
have been like
same.
freshman year of college for me. Shoot.
Yeah, and the picture that he posted with the track Pusha T did was a picture of Drake in blackface. That's the
Ooh.
picture right there.
Wow. That is
Apparently, it was
messed
for
up.
a an acting role that he was doing at the time. But
that is messed up.
yeah,
Okay. I'm very somewhat uncomfortable on that one,
Yeah.
but still, I'm also slightly intrigued to continue. What else you got?
Yeah, we got
Alright.
4 more left, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
number 4 is The Takeover by Jay-Z.
This is a famous one,
Yes.
actually. I give you a ton of credit for
Yeah,
pulling this one.
I figured you would know this one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's a great song, you know, even as a diss record, it's still a great song in general.
Also gave credence to kind of a lot of people too, which in hindsight was probably not what Jay-Z was going for. But at the same time, like it was excellent.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna deny it though.
Mhm. Yeah, this song went after Nas and Prodigy from Mobb Deep.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason that I put it at 4 and not higher was it was really only one verse directed at Prodigy and one verse directed at Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Although they were really good verses, there's 2 out of 4 he was really dissing. The other 2 were like just kind of
Right. But I'm just gonna.
talking.
But if you want to talk about famous rap like rivalries and like hatreds for a while, Nas and Jay-Z were like the biggest
Yeah.
for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which would take us into number 4
Well, we just had
Number
four.
3.
or number 3. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Math is not your strong suit. It's all right.
I'm dyslexic.
No, it's all right. Math is not the ranking strong suit either. So you're kind of filling in admirably on that case.
So number 3 is
Even though he teaches the youth.
Ether by Nas, and that is going at Jay-Z.
Can't discredit this
So
either.
they must have been good if they're both on your top 5.
Oh,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, Nas is one of those guys too that like, you don't think about a lot of how good his music is because there's not a lot of mainstream stuff from him.
Exactly.
But like if you are like maybe just kind of like by yourself or just kind of like chilling one day and you just decide to turn on some Nas because it's very like mellow type music and stuff. He's got some bangers.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't think of it at first, but he's got some.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, probably since the '90s, like he hasn't really put out anything that was like too commercial.
Besides that one. I know I can.
Oh yeah, I know I can.
Favorite song in 5th grade.
I know I can't.
That's what I wrote in my 5th grade yearbook.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
He just had a new album come out. I think last year.
I think I vaguely remember that actually.
It was very good.
Mm.
Definitely
Was it
highly
good?
recommend. Yeah. King's Disease
I'll write it
2.
down. Write it down for later.
Definitely.
This
Check it
is
out.
just gonna be filled with stuff on that paper. I can already tell.
I'm gonna turn Vo into a hip hop head.
Oh God, help me.
All right, you guys ready for number 2?
I'm waiting within.
Do you have any idea about these top 2?
I feel like they're gonna be well known, but I can't think off the top of my head now.
So number
Alright,
2,
we'll go
if we
to-
are on number 2,
Yes,
we're
we
on
are.
number 2.
math is still real.
it is No Vaseline by Ice Cube.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. That is probably the one I would have thought of as number 1. Actually, now that I think
Okay.
about it. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, this song at the time was like the diss song. Just how
The
ruthless he
entire
was.
song.
Yeah,
The entire song. There's
Absolutely.
no break on this
Mhm.
whatsoever.
and Eazy's manager doesn't even escape Ice Cube's wrath.
If anyone has ever seen Straight Outta Compton, there's literally an entire scene where he's making one of the songs on there, and it's just going off on it, and then you see how many people like are hearing it for the first time, and it's a great song, by the way. Just throwing this out here. If you've
Absolutely.
never heard it, it's a phenomenal song. But there's a lot of people that got pissed off about it too.
Yeah.
He goes after everyone. In
He
this.
goes after everyone.
Yep.
Everyone.
And this obviously is directed at NWA after leaving.
Well, what's crazy about it too is that, so in the story is like Ice Cube left NWA and did his own solo album.
Mhm.
This song came after the album was released. Like he actually didn't go after anyone in that album whatsoever. It's
Yeah.
just all what he wanted to
The
say.
only reason he went after him was because
He didn't-
NWA was
he didn't
going
get-
after
Mm.
going after him.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
he didn't
dissing
get
him for
money or
leaving.
anything.
He left
didn't get
because of a
royalties.
money dispute, but
Oh,
then
okay.
NWA started dissing him
Right. So
because
like
he left the group.
right. So like yeah, America's Most Wanted was his first like solo album. Didn't diss anyone in NWA. Then NWA out of nowhere like drops a song dissing him, and then he drops No Vaseline and just ends it. Just ends it
everybody.
right away. Yeah.
Yeah, no one
So-
was safe in that one.
I heard that there was a lot of like protest on this song from for him being essentially homophobic
Yep.
and an anti-Semite.
Yep. Because I believe Eazy's manager was Jewish, so like that was probably one of the reasons that like you heard that right away. But yes, he also was like homophobic on this song too. So
Oh,
that's why it's a very controversial song to begin with. But again, it was also in the late 80s this song was released, early 90s.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a different time, although we're not pushing that here, but still it's
Right.
brutal of
Oh,
a
yeah.
song.
All right, number 1, I think, is the epitome of a diss song, and it is "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac featuring the Outlaws.
Wow. I would have not guessed this one actually.
So just as soon as it starts, it just goes straight for the jugular. I feel
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
and even the Outlaws, they're not known at all. I think this is the first time anybody has ever heard them
Mhm.
on a record, and they hold their own going against Notorious B.I.G. and Puff Daddy.
Yeah, Tupac. You can never say that he wasn't a wordsmith.
No.
to say the least. Like, it is a shame that we lost him so early, just because like the if you actually just pay attention to just the words in his music, it's so well done
Mhm.
on some of it, and this song is no exception. Like Biggie and that beef was real, even though part of it was kind of more based on gang stuff. It was never based on like them hating each other. And
Yeah.
originally they were friends.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is
really?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
friends, and then I believe I don't even know the full story, but like I just remember. But I believe there was some sort of gang incident that Tupac got involved in, and the people who like did it associated themselves with Biggie. So that's how that essentially started, and then
Yeah.
it just became just a war.
Yeah, he was actually supposed to record a song with somebody that was with Biggie. I don't think it was a song with Biggie, but Biggie was there.
Mm.
And so after he got shot, he said that Puff Daddy and Notorious B.I.G. set him up.
Mm-hmm. So that's where that hatred essentially came from.
It's fair. He's actually Chip's favorite rapper.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Would have never guessed that. Makes a lot of sense
Good-
though. Now that I
good
think
pick,
about
Chip.
it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Makes
pick.
makes a ton of sense now in hindsight.
Yeah, he was messaging me about Tupac earlier this week, and we have this episode, so it worked out.
All right.
So my honorable mentions would probably be Kill Shot from Eminem, dissing MGK.
Basically, just ruined MGK and made him become a pop punk guy.
Yep,
So go figure.
absolutely.
Go figure on that one.
And then Vo told me there was a song that he was thinking of.
There was. I don't know if it's technically a diss song, but
Okay.
NWA, F the police.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
they're kind of dissing the police
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
So,
well,
I was
Could be
kind
on
of
the
looking at
list.
more rapper versus rapper.
yeah, well,
technically,
But yeah.
specify that.
technically,
Sorry.
forget about Dre. I think is also a diss track too, because it's literally it's messing with people who
Oh yeah.
who are claiming
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
that next thing, and then like I believe Shady and Dre, and I think Snoop Dogg's on that song too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but like they're all basically like pushing back at it and are like, y'all forgot about him.
Yep. Yeah.
Chip asked a good question. Is
But is-
Tupac still alive? That's what he asked me earlier this week.
Well,
If this was if this was 2000, I'd have a little bit of hope that he was,
hmm
but I'm gonna say no.
well, I mean, his hologram's still out there, Zillies.
I mean, yeah,
Mm.
you got that.
Mhm.
There was a lot of conspiracy things with the
Yeah, I
number
was
7.
Number 7?
Yes, because the number 7 kept showing up in like his rhymes and like some of his
Oh.
like
Mm.
album artwork and stuff like that, and yeah, so like I
So they thought like
dug
7
very
years
deep
from
into
there?
this after he died
Yeah.
and was like, he's definitely alive.
Mm.
But however many
been a
years
while.
later now, it's I
probably-
gotta say no.
Yeah, it's been so long.
I
that you're just
wish.
I
kinda
think
like,
it was 25 years when I looked up.
Really?
I think.
Wow.
'Cause
wow.
I was looking into it too. But
Mm.
I don't know. He might still be out there, Chip.
It's possible.
Hey, if you're out there, Tupac,
He
Come
might
bless
be.
us.
He might be watching the show right now.
That is true.
that'd be
for
amazing.
For all we know. I mean, then again, it's been technology has changed for so long. I mean, you think Tupac even knows about how to do all this?
You don't know.
He might not know what Twitch is.
Yeah, Morgan says if he is, he doesn't want us to know.
I bet
so.
he strikes me as someone that would like live off the grid, like as a hermit or something. Honestly,
I don't know.
I get that vibe from him.
I
Did
feel
you?
like he was just always drawn to the cameras. Anytime a camera was on him, he was
Mhm.
like,
Well, I mean,
He had to
he
be.
was an actor too,
right,
so it makes
exactly.
sense. Yeah,
So I feel like he would want to be
So he could be in like
in the
disguise.
limelight.
could. It's very possible now that we think about it.
I did just see a picture on, I think it was Reddit. Somebody posted a picture of this dude that looked like Tupac with
Mhm.
dreads. And I said,
God.
I hate this.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You're falling back into the rabbit hole all over again. Jeez.
We're gonna
God
do
help us.
more
Hey, I didn't go
research?
looking for it. It just popped up.
Okay.
Actually, that's why Austin's not here. He's looking for Tupac.
That'd be interesting. I could see him as like Elmer Fudd and be very quiet.
could
I'm
see it.
hunting Tupac.
I could see that too.
I agree with
With
1
1
and
and
2,
2.
but would have put the warning above the story of Adidon. Yeah, I mean that's a good good song as well.
So I'd say we have some couple good rankings,
Couple
but
good
I think
rankings.
it's
Thank
are
you,
you
thank
are you excited to now have a healthy discussion that will not become violent in any way, possibly?
I would like that.
Okay.
You would like that? Well,
Yes.
what's next, Foreigner?
We have the, let me do my best Austin impression, the Great Debate. Thank you, thank you.
Nailed it.
Didn't even have to do the annoying.
All right. So
Still pointing. You're good.
So this is going to be create your own rap show with 4 rappers, but one of them has to be female.
Oh,
Include that in there.
I like this. Okay. So how are we doing this? First off, does everyone have to be alive?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that helps right off the get-go.
Takes one
I
out
didn't
of
think
the way.
about that, but yes.
So are we doing like just Any four? Or are we going off of like a concert order? Like one has to be the opener, one has to be like the mid, and then the headliner? Or are you just trying
Yeah,
to
we can do it that way.
or is it could just be like any four that you would want to see in one show?
I would just say any four.
Any four? Okay,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. I do like the female caveat. That's a nice pull on your
Yeah.
part, actually.
All right. So, would anybody like to create the order here in the chat?
I mean, I feel like you're also the one that typically does it, so
Yeah.
nah.
I
It's
mean,
not-
I want to give the people
The people's
a time to shine.
You are the people's king.
You are the people's.
The people's
Damn.
king. The people's king has spoken. So whoever's the first person to type up the order in the chat, that's how we will go. Thank you, Ping, Vo, RapKing, and Greg. I love it. I love
Appreciate
it.
it.
And we
Thank you, Ping.
and we do not have to do the serpentine, so it'll just be directly in order.
Okay.
All right, Vo.
Perfect.
Who you got first?
So this is gonna be tough. Do I take people now, or do I wait and try to take someone
Well, you
else?
also got it's like the music league. Technically, you got to play to the audience, but you also got to play for yourself as well.
All right. I'm gonna take Young Moolah, baby, Lil Wayne.
Okay.
All right.
This is something I'm gonna be honest with you. When me and you saw him,
It was good.
I was
It was
surprised
awesome.
how good he was. So it
It
was
was
that
awesome.
it
Was
was
it good? I've
it-
never seen him.
it was that tour that he was doing with Blink,
Okay.
and
I
we were-
wanted to see that.
and it was just like I did not think he was gonna be good at all. Like he showed up late and all that
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah, because he wasn't supposed to be the headliner.
No, he wasn't. Like
Supposed to
they
go on
they
first.
announced like at the show that Blink was going on earlier and stuff like that, and we were like, oh, I wonder what's going on. And then Weezy came out and stuff because this is after the incident happened where he just walked off stage after 5 songs.
Yeah.
So we just assumed, oh, he's probably like throwing a fit or some shit like
Right.
that. But but honestly, like with a full band behind him and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty good.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
like we knew all the songs from growing up. So
They were-
it
they
was
were all
like, It
bangers.
was like a throwback concert, basically.
Yeah, no.
So
Pink
he did
says
a whole
Lil-
band behind him.
Yeah, it
That's
was
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, like drum.
Most rappers don't do that.
No, like I know Wiz Khalifa does it now, and it's pretty good. But like Wayne with like a band behind him was actually very good.
Man.
Yeah, Ping says Wayne was 2 hours late to the concert he went to because they didn't get him McDonald's.
That's amazing. That might have been the reason why he was
That's
late at ours for all we know.
That's
That's
possible.
why I was on time. Vo got me McDonald's
They get
today.
McDonald's.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Or else I would have been a little late.
All right, Rap King, you're up. What do you got?
All right. I think I'm gonna go with Drizzy. Drizzy Drake.
Okay. Okay. Can't go wrong with that.
Not a huge Drake fan.
I was when I first listened to him, like
Mhm.
before he got signed to Lil Wayne, and then I don't know if it was just because I don't want to say I didn't care for Lil Wayne that much, but I thought he was overrated.
Mm.
Ooh,
And
okay.
so I think because of that, I kind of just threw Drake in there too. But
See,
I've learned to appreciate Drake a
yeah,
lot more.
see, like I remember, like my senior year of high school was when the Carter 4, when Rebirth, his rock album came out, so that's where
Yeah.
like my Wheezy thing came from. But then it was also around the time that Drake started to get really big. So like that was like my wheelhouse of like starting to get into like hip hop and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So that's kind of how it was. My number one for me is Clear Cut, and the easiest one, the best lyricist right now. He just dropped a banger of a new album, Kendrick Lamar.
That was a good album.
Did you like it?
I did.
I brought this up that like I think it like kind of mixed people a lot because there wasn't anything that like he clearly did not make the album to be like have a lot of radio play or anything
Right.
like that. It felt like I went through a therapy session when I
Mhm.
listened to that album. He just got so much off of his
Oh, yeah.
chest, and I was just like, oh, I just felt so much like tension and anger from there. But
Yeah.
then thankfully State Champs also dropped their album that day, and I felt like happiness
Oh,
and
nice.
joy
There
from
you
it.
go.
Yeah, so it
There
was
you
good. So it was good. Yeah.
Evens it out.
Yeah, exactly. So Kendrick is my number one.
So that leaves me with number 2. You got to go with Wiz Khalifa.
Nothing wrong with that. I bring this up all the time. When I was in high school, there were always flyers for his mixtapes in my cafeteria and stuff. So I essentially grew up with his music. Flight School, Princess City 2, Cushion OJ, Star Power, all that. So I have nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's definitely a good pick.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that.
I
Prince
also-
of the city, baby.
Also, you remember when we were in college and stuff, and like Dat Piff was a big deal
Yeah,
when he dropped his mixtapes and stuff, and like we would be on trying to get it
Like,
to
download
download and shit like
everything.
that. We probably put so many viruses on our laptops back in college.
That's
without
probably
even
why
thinking
they
about it.
don't work.
That's
from
probably why
college
they
yet.
don't work. That's fair. But yeah, that we did. I remember just doing that all the time and stuff, and it was crazy.
My number 2 is gonna be J. Cole.
Oh,
So it's
that's a good
also-
choice.
He dropped a banger of an album. I believe it was last year. I think later at the end of last year.
You know what's funny? When we were in, and also like our freshman year of college, like Wiz Khalifa and J. Cole played our spring concert.
Yeah,
J.
that's
Cole-
right. It was the Wiz concert.
Yeah, J. Cole was the
That's-
opener.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to see that.
hmm
He plays with a full band.
I believe it.
Yeah.
He would also be great with a full band. Now that I think
Mhm.
about it.
I've never seen him live, but I've seen YouTube videos and amazing.
This-
it
this
seems
was-
like he's amazing live.
This was like early J. Cole too. Like this is probably around, like this is before like the album with like Wet Dreams and all
This
that
was
came out.
when he
Okay,
first
yeah,
was
Forest
like
Hills.
up and coming.
Yes.
Like he just got signed by Jay-Z, I think.
Yes,
around
yes,
that
he
time.
just got signed by Rockaway. That's right. Yeah. Okay, my number 2 is one I mentioned earlier, and this one is very simple for me. Kid Cudi. Man on the Moon,
Alright.
Man on the Moon 2, Indicud, Man on the Moon 3, even WZRD when he did his rock thing. I love Kid Cudi. Love his music so much. Like when Man on the Moon 3 released earlier this year, I didn't even know what was happening. Like my brother texted me and I just absorbed as much as I could, and all of them were very good. All of his songs are so good.
Yeah, my one buddy asked me the one time who was better, Kid Cudi or Lil Wayne, and I went with Kid Cudi.
Mhm.
Listen, like
I'm gonna say Lil Wayne just because I took Lil Wayne.
That's your number 1.
me personally, I've seen Kid Cudi live and he puts on a great show. I'm just gonna point that out.
I can
But
imagine that.
Lil Wayne, I was not expecting to put on a great show, and he did. He surprised the hell out of me. But like, I love Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
Scott Muscudi, man, he knows it. He knows what it's about.
Oh yeah. Pecker Wrecker. This is creating your own rap show. So we're picking 4 rappers.
And they have
that
to be alive.
have to be alive, and there has to be a female.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to see who has the better show.
It's gonna be me.
It's not going to be Vo.
It's my turn, right?
Yes,
It
it
is.
is.
So for my number 3 pick, I'm gonna take Eminem.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, that's fair.
Ass.
That's fair.
See, did I steal your pick?
You did.
I'm surprised he lasted that long, actually.
Yeah, I think we were playing favorites, and also because of the fact too that like Eminem hasn't dropped new music in a while, so he's probably not the most like fresh on people's minds.
Mhm.
So that might explain it right there. But yes,
It's his reunion tour. He's coming back. His
Oh,
comeback tour.
oh my god,
All
He's
his
just
old
going to drop
songs.
another surprise album.
yeah. Oh, he would
Never
do
know.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, my number 3 is going to be Nicki Minaj.
Getting your girl all the way. Okay,
Mhm.
I like it. I like it. When I still remember when I believe it was Pink Print came out. That was like, and like because I don't remember, especially female rappers too. Like that wasn't something that we were accustomed to much.
Mm-hmm.
And then like when she went mainstream and stuff, and most of her music was just so catchy and
Oh, yeah.
so good. It was just like, oh my god, this like changed. I feel like it changed music right there just from
Yeah.
that.
I definitely agree.
Hmm
You actually, according to Pecker Record 412, you have 2 female rappers on your list.
I guess. Hey, gotta have something for the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? There's a couple ideas that I had in my head. I was thinking Logic, but he's not active right now, so I'm not gonna pick him. Although I have seen him live, and he's also very good, I will say. But I'm gonna go with someone who I love.
I think I know where you're going with this. If not, I'll be shocked if you don't take him.
Start typing it up and see if it's it. And I love this person. Let me see. Oh, you bastard! You knew.
Okay.
I love Lupe Fiasco. I love.
I knew it.
I love Lupe Fiasco.
I just read that he got hired to teach a rap course at
Really?
MIT.
Yes, Lupe Fiasco in terms of like Lupe Fiasco just in terms of like if you listen to his music, just the amount of stuff that he talks about, like what going on in society and his beliefs and all that. It is so freaking good.
I like
Some
Lupe.
big-
I never got like real into him though.
Yeah, I got into Lupe around
It was like high school, college, right?
high school was the thing for me because The Cool came out when I was in The Cool came out when I was like a sophomore, I think, in high school, and I played the hell out of that album. Food and Liquor was Food and Liquor is a great album. People hated Lasers, but that is one of my favorite albums of all time because it got.
Yeah, I
him-
feel like you listen to that all
I
the time.
listened to that album like on repeat, and some people hate it, but I loved it. Like when I turned 21, my brother's gift to me was Food and Liquor Part 2, the Great American Rap
Oh,
album,
nice.
and he illegally downloaded it for free because it was supposed to come out 2 days after my birthday, and he found it somehow.
Oh wow,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, Tetsuo and Youth is also a great one. Draga's Way is also a great one too. But yeah, he puts out good music that he hasn't gotten like as popular, obviously. But like if you listen to any of this stuff, like just in terms of all the social change that goes on and all that, he is excellent for it. Excellent.
Okay, I might have to start listening to Lupe a little more.
Check him out.
Yeah.
That's what these shows are about.
I-
If you don't
yeah.
know people, you can look them
I haven't
up.
listened to him since Food and Liquor, to be honest.
Oh,
I think I heard a little bit of the Cool.
The Cool is excellent.
So that leaves me number 4, right?
What's up, Danny?
That's right, Denny. Austin has taken
this is the RapKing's court.
Austin has taken a sabbatical after the mess of last week. So
Thank you for joining us. I hope you like a little rap.
hip hop, whatever way you'd like to say.
Yeah.
So what are you going with your last one though? And it has to be a female.
Has to be female. I'm going Missy Elliott.
Okay, little throwback.
Was not expecting that.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
Okay.
She's one of the most famous female rappers,
She is.
producer. She can do it all.
She doesn't get as much love as she
No,
deserves. I will
she
give
really
you that.
doesn't.
Pretty solid squad there, right?
That is a
That's a-
very solid squad.
That's a solid squad. I think they flow very nicely together. Actually, now
Mhm.
that I think about it.
That was very nice. I give you props.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
You
say,
give me the win?
I'm a
You
little
give me the win?
sweating a little bit now.
You're getting nervous now.
I am. All right, my number 4 is gonna be Kevin Gates.
Who's that?
I don't think I recognize that. Yeah.
My brother would be very upset with you too.
I don't. I apologize. I don't recognize it.
He's somewhat newer, I guess. I mean, he's been out for a little while, but Vo's Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
That explains a
That's
lot.
my sweet tea, actually.
Yeah. All right. My last one. I think it obviously comes down to a couple contenders, but I don't think this is any discussion right now. I mean, she has blown up lately, and it's pretty obvious for me. It's gotta be Cardi B.
Okay.
It's gotta be. I would consider Megan as well, but like I just think Cardi B is the way to go.
You
in
know
this
who
case.
I really like right now?
Who?
Is Doja Cat.
That's right. I thought
I don't
he
think
was-
she's.
I thought he was
Is she
gonna go.
considered rap?
I would.
Yeah, I'd
I mean,
consider her rap.
everything I've heard of rap.
And
on is
she
she's
was on
rapping.
Dave, the show Dave with
Yeah.
Lil Dicky. So that's bonus points right
Anything
there.
she's been putting out has just been a banger
That's fair.
to me.
I don't listen to a lot of her stuff, so like I would probably have to be willing to give it a chance, I guess. But like I would have not considered her rap, honestly.
Well,
Well, that was
it's a good list.
the great debate. Please let us know who you think won. Obviously, the Rap King.
Obviously, I'm showing up to the show. Oh,
There we go.
okay.
Oh, damn.
That's one.
Oh my God. Okay.
Pecker Wrecker.
Who was the blonde girl that dated Laker? Oh God.
Who was that? Was that Iggy Azalea?
Iggy
Oh,
Azalea.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about her.
Yeah.
There's
she,
Chip's pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Sorry.
Is that Dre?
Yeah, Dre might
What's up, Dre?
Dre might be very upset with some of the selections that we had, but okay. Rap albums all time, any order. Oh God, that's
You know what? I should
Dre-
have did that.
we should have done that. Sorry, bud.
I didn't even think about
Sorry,
that. one.
bud. That'll be something in like a post
Yeah.
thing.
We'll do another rap episode.
Yeah, so down the line. Then Dre can be in line for that.
Yeah, maybe
go.
we can have him as a guest
Absolutely.
if he
Boom.
shows up on time.
That's a great point. So typically typically this is where the ranking likes to go on his bathroom break, and he has us run a commercial break.
Alright.
Do you need that, or would you rather flow into the final one?
I don't need it, but would you guys like to go to the bathroom
Wait.
or a commercial break?
I could add Zach on my team too.
Until he didn't pick Cardi B and Josh picked Kevin Gates, so it's Team Josh for Zach. Wow. Okay. 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 All right. Yeah, Dre.
Let's go.
Dre, we'll do a rap part 2 one, and then we'll see if you can join in for that, and then we'll try to make it up to you. Can Richard die and try and
Save it for
God
save it.
damn it.
Save it for later. We're
I mean,
we're going
that
to
is a-
commercial break.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be right back, guys.
Let's dive right into sports, as I have strong opinions on that. Which college team could beat a professional team in the same sport right now?
Okay.
There is not a single answer that is better than the LSU Tigers defeating the Cincinnati Bengals.
Even if I know the pitch that's coming, every other part of me is still normal.
That's why it's frustrating for me, Greg.
It's like okay, if I know what something is coming, I know ahead of time. I still have to be able to do the action to get the result that I need.
Okay, so they won 3 games in 10 years with 3 rebuilds.
I don't lose at arguments. All right.
Especially about fast food. So yeah.
You will never walk alone. Guess what? Now you will. Coronavirus.
I barely touch my girlfriend's cat. The most I'd be willing to do is like just kind of put my finger on its forehead and just like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with us is Alex Kazor from Steelers Depot.
We are live with Ryan Smith, professional cornhole player in the ACL. Ryan,
What all franchises were you able to work with in the NHL?
With Phoenix, Carolina, and Detroit.
So here is Moorhead's ranking. Moorhead is my cousin. He is the rank king.
Higher on
Top
us.
10 extra Power Rangers.
Oh.
This is the top 10 emo songs of the 2000s.
There's only one correct answer for number 1. Why is F is for Family better than Futurama when Futurama is like Star
think-
Wars for potheads? Like
I know.
I'm-
So I think
We have one or two that are mad in the chat.
You're welcome for that.
Okay, we're gonna get banned.
All right, everyone. This is it. This is the top 10 best rappers.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Buckle up.
Y'all ready
This-
for this?
Buckle up.
I'm gonna preface this and say
Is it
that
yours?
this is my list.
Okay.
Okay.
And it is
Okay.
the definitive list.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't care what anybody else thinks.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
I'm letting y'all know.
He's calling you all out.
Okay. I love the confidence boost already from this just because it is your list. So I
That's right.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. This is
Everybody
gonna be
else
good.
is wrong. I might be pulling an Austin here, but everyone else is wrong on this
That
one.
definitely sounds like Austin.
That sounds like Austin. I think Austin somehow transferred himself into your body.
Just in that.
He
During the
just-
commercial
just in
break.
that
During the commercial
commercial.
break. Makes sense. Makes sense. He was in the middle of finishing up the last of his Taco Bowl and was like and just went on a trip right now.
He hit
So
up Bone Thugs and said, "Let me borrow your Ouija."
I don't even know if he knows what a Ouija is, but hey, go figure.
Well,
All right, you guys ready?
You want to start your top 10?
It's about to see some fire apparently.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right,
Mm.
number
we
10.
got your back.
Number
for
10.
now.
It is Nicki Minaj.
Wow, top 10.
Mm-hmm. So I felt that I needed to include a female rapper.
Is that where the idea for the female in the
Yes,
great?
yes.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But I didn't have a female rapper at the top with my first top 10, and then I said there needs to be someone included in this.
Okay.
So that's
so
why
she's your
Nicki's
favorite female
squeaked
rapper.
in, yes. And
No.
I'm not trying to discredit any female rappers, like
that
from
was
being,
quick, Dre. That
from
was quick.
being top tier. I just think there's better male rappers.
Okay, that's
Um,
understandable.
So,
So-
0 for 2 people.
So then
right
we're
now.
so then is
10.
so wait a second then. So do you believe it was just right on your part, or is this more of a pity thing to make sure that you're including?
little bit of both.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
I'm
at
not.
least
We're not hating. We're just trying to check.
I think Nicki Minaj is the top tier of the female rappers.
Okay.
So she had to be. She deserved to be on top 10.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Understandable.
I mean, I like Cardi B. You know, there's Eve, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown. There's so many that you can name. And I don't know. When I first heard Nicki Minaj, it was just something different that even like some male rappers were bringing to the table.
No, I will say that I do think that she took like female rappers to that like next level of like putting them like above a stigma of being like side or like role players or something like that.
So even if you don't agree,
paved the way for like Cardi B.
Exactly. So if you don't, even if you don't agree, like she brought in these other people to step their game up. I think.
Dre says Trina the GOAT.
Trina, oh yeah. Trina was fire. In more
Not
ways than
number
one.
11.
She was definitely
She's number 11.
All right.
Thinking about her, she might be number 1.
Oh, we got to change the whole list.
Oh God. All right.
All right. Number 9. Kendrick Lamar. Or I'm sorry, I switched that. That was Royce the 5'9".
This is why you don't mess with the list after you give it to him.
I know.
We've had this happen before
No,
with a
we
guest.
We fixed it. We updated it. He
I
just read the wrong
forgot
one.
to change it in here.
Okay.
It is Royce the 5'9". This is Eminem's homie.
Okay. I'm curious why you have him so high, just out of curiosity, because he's clearly not.
I see what you did there. You put Royce the 5'9" at number 9. That's why he switched. That's why he switched it up. I think he did. Now I'm on the
possibly.
We'll see.
So I'm curious about this one because he's clearly not as well known as probably some of the other guys on this one. So why do you have him so high?
His rhyme schemes, the way that he can rhyme things that it doesn't even sound like he's rhyming anything actually. Like they shouldn't rhyme,
but they do.
But he pieces it together so well. He constructs his rhymes.
With like Wisconsin, making T-Pain.
Jesus Christ.
But I think he deserves more recognition.
That's understandable, and you're giving it to it, and you're giving it now. So
absolutely,
hey, credit on that one. Yeah.
We have some comments over there before we move on. Morgan said Trina never blew up the way Nicki did. She's straight boss.
I agree.
And Dre said she was ahead of her time. He thinks social media helped massively for Nicki.
100%.
Oh, I agree on that one. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Actually,
If it wasn't for social media, she definitely probably wouldn't be as big.
You could maybe say that she was probably the first. She was probably the first rapper that blew up because of social media. I bet. Honestly.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready for number 8?
Let's see.
That one is Kendrick Lamar.
Thank God he is on this list.
He is.
Jesus Christ, I love me some Kendrick Lamar. I will say this until the day I die. Good Kid, Mad City is the greatest rap album I ever listened to in my life.
Okay.
I will go to my grave saying that if I have to.
We'll see if that's on the next episode.
Yeah, on the next episode.
Say the same thing.
Yeah,
I think
Kendrick just changed everything when he entered the scene. So
I think Kendrick is amazing, but at the same time, there's still a lot of songs that like I don't want to say that I don't like, but I would just rather listen to something else.
That's fair.
It's not your style. It's not
Yeah,
your
I don't
style of music.
I can. We had this. Deke and I had this conversation on 2 Beers Deep on Thursday, which you can check out in audio format now. By the way, just putting that out there. I have to because we brought this up. We were talking about his top 5 albums of all time and stuff. And what I appreciate about them is that there's like a, especially with 2 specific ones, Good Kid, Mad City, and also Damn. There was like a story or kind of like a theme to it. Like with Good Kid, Mad City is like an entire story in the background talking about it, but with Damn, it gets like you don't understand what's going on, and then at the very end it just like changes the entire way you listen to the album, and it just blows your mind in that. But yeah, I love Kendrick. He is probably my favorite rapper.
I love his voice too. Like it's just something different.
It is different, yeah.
All right, boys. Number 7 is Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of assumed Biggie was gonna be on this list. He had to be.
Oh, absolutely. I think people will be upset that he's so low, but
yeah, we'll see.
There's
in the
just
comments
other
if they
people
come in.
that I think may be a little better.
That's fair.
Other people I'd rather listen to.
Like 6 other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think maybe since his career was cut so short.
Yeah, like I was like thinking about this because I would say Biggie's run was very short.
Yeah,
when you
I
think
mean,
about
for
it.
what he had, like, massive. Oh, jeez.
Don't worry about it. Austin is never in here, so like it doesn't. He never even has to deal with it.
But yeah, I mean, he blew up so quick and major notoriety.
Yeah, but honestly though, like if you even took like kind of like the beats away from it too, just from his ability to like be a lyricist and just come up with some of the stuff they did, like freestyling. Oh,
Yep.
Dude's incredible.
Oh yeah, I think he becomes a little higher for people too, though, because of his death.
That's fair. I can agree with that. There is kind of like, I think you start to appreciate them more because of the fact that you can't have it anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that does help out in the long run.
And I'm not
that.
trying to take anything away from him. You know, I think that factors in a little bit. All right, number 6 is Jay-Z.
Yep, Jay-Z had to be top 10, easily. Everything that he has done for hip hop. I mean, you could argue he helped make hip hop mainstream. I believe.
I mean,
when you think about it, yeah.
A lot more, yes.
He was also one of the ones that like. He was one of the first ones, I think, too, especially from a mainstream perspective, that took beats and sounds from other avenues and then transitioned them into music. I mean, like Hard Knock Life was probably like the biggest example of that because I think that was one of his earlier albums too that he did that, and like people were so taken aback by that, and it just worked so well.
He probably wouldn't be like the first one to do it, but I think probably as the most mainstream.
Most well known though. Well, yeah.
Dre says if Jay-Z is 6, this top 5 got to be crazy.
Well, by the way, if we're talking about
if
we're talking about business moguls, like he's number one.
Exactly.
He's number one easily.
Yeah, and he's still putting music out here and there. Like he's going strong. How many years? Practically 30.
Oh God, easily.
Like it's insane.
I was gonna say like he's up there in age too. He's what? In his like 50s easily.
Yeah, has to be 50
It's gotta be
now,
up there.
I think.
We can look that up.
Yeah, I would say because he's been around for so long at this point. He's born in '69, so 52. Okay. Yeah.
Dang. I gotta say I hate those braids though.
Oh, they look so dumb.
Right?
Yeah.
Just gotta switch it up sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of that was Kanye, especially in the later runs.
Well, now we're the top 5, so
top
this is
5,
where
baby. Y'all ready?
We'll see if Dre's still with you after.
This is gonna be interesting. All right.
Number 5 is the dog DMX. Rough Rider.
Interesting. I was not expecting this actually.
Oh yeah, dude. Whenever I first heard DMX, I was just like, man, this is something new, refreshing, like something you just don't hear. And I instantly went out and bought his album. I heard it on. I didn't even hear it on the radio. It was something else. I can't even remember. But like nobody was playing his songs at the time.
Right.
And I went out, found his album, got it, just playing it for all my friends. Like, this is so great, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, DMX, whatever. Like, they couldn't care less. Then as soon as, like, right after that,
the radio started playing and everything.
Yeah.
And then they were all
usually
like,
how
oh,
it goes.
DMX is amazing.
Flesh in My Flesh, top 3 albums all time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think It's Dark and Hell is Hot is better. That's just my opinion, but definitely Flesh in My Flesh is definitely a great album.
Yeah, so good number 5. It seems like the
R.I.P. to DMX as well.
viewers like you.
Yeah, recent. That was recent too.
Was that like a year ago or so?
It was last year. I know that for sure. Yeah.
The best cover of Rudolph ever.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Can't go wrong with that one. Play that every Christmas.
You have to.
Absolutely. All right, number 4. We got Nas.
Yeah, Nas definitely deserves to be on this list. That's true.
And like you said before, Nas was never really like too mainstream compared to Jay-Z.
Yeah. Honestly,
but like I think that's why I like him more.
Yeah, honestly, like to me, Radiohead is like the perfect like comparison to him. Like he has a following and people like him and respect him, but he never kind of like went over that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, yeah,
he did
Reading Rainbow
or-
remix.
I'll have to look that one up. too.
Definitely. It's hilarious.
Just in terms of like being funny, I could probably see why you have DMX in here. That makes sense.
So what? We have the top 3 now.
Yeah, top 3. Yes, Illmatic, definitely. Top 10. Might be top 5, I don't know. We'll see what Dre comes up with. Possibly. All right, number 3. We got Eminem. Chicka chicka.
Yeah.
Slim Shady.
Yeah. I mean, when like Eminem, Eminem came out like late 90s, if I remember correctly. Yeah. My name is that was the song that like got him like his original run on that, and then ever since then there was just no turning back because this dude, like, in just terms of a lyricist, is just second to none, and he's hilarious.
Yeah. He gets better every single year. Every time he drops an album, just the way he changes every rhyme that he does, makes everything. He'll rhyme something that you're just like, what?
Yeah. and he does it so fast that you don't even think about it.
And some of the lines, like, you don't even have a chance to, like, really think about until, like, a second listen and be like, wait, I didn't even catch that.
His videos are always creative, off the wall, crazy.
Just weird as hell, but in a great way, though. There's definitely been some stuff where, like, I could probably kind of tell that he wasn't necessarily, like, trying or putting a lot of effort into it. I mean, and I also love that, like, even on the Recovery album where he's like, yeah, Relapse was which is saying something, because I remember when that came out and it was kind of like, yeah, there wasn't anything to like put it over the top, but like he's even willing to like admit when some stuff like probably wasn't as good as it could have been.
I didn't like Revival when it came out.
Okay.
The first listen, I legit listened to it once and I was done, and then I actually just recently listened to it, and I was like, wow, this actually is good. It's just, I think
take some time.
I think a lot of people were like, it's not good for what Eminem, like what you're thinking Eminem is going to put out.
Yeah.
It's a little different than what his normal
albums
are, I think.
Dre said, can't have Nas over Jay, even though Ether was a top 2 diss track all time.
I'm sorry, sir, but Nas.
We did.
Nas over Jay.
Dre, I don't know if you were watching earlier, we did do the top diss tracks of all time. So if you want to read your 5 real quick again for Dre.
The diss tracks were number 5, The Story of Adidon. Number 4, The Takeover. Number 3, Ether. Number 2, No Vaseline. And 1 was Hit 'Em Up.
Which, honestly, like, he made compelling cases for them.
Appreciate you, Dre.
You have a new fan.
Hey, love you, Dre.
Until these next 2. We'll see.
Until these next 2,
We'll see.
These could change everything.
All right. Number 2. J. Cole.
Wow.
This is the
this
greatest.
Is very high.
This is the greatest rapper alive right now. Has been for a while now.
Yeah.
Every album, man. Every album. Every song.
You're shocked.
No, I just like.
Did you expect this?
I did not expect J. Cole this high, no. But he makes, in terms of the music that he's putting out, like, you're not wrong. Like, the stuff that he puts out is excellent, and quality-wise too. It's so good, but it's like, you don't appreciate him. I think like everyone doesn't appreciate how good he is, because like we're in a time where like I think some rappers, though, they just get more plug and more push than him. But like his stuff is excellent.
Yeah. He's kind of like Nas, where he doesn't have a whole lot of like radio play, I don't think.
Which is hilarious because he's essentially JC's protege.
Yeah.
which is just even weirder.
Right. Like his first album had a lot of I mean, all of his albums have like something, radio friendly, I guess.
Yeah, at least one or two probably.
Yeah, I think his first one was
Dre, have some whiskey. Have some whiskey.
Dre's shocked about that pick too.
But it makes sense. It kind of does make sense when you think about it. I can.
Dre, every song that man puts out, a hit. I mean, not a hit, commercially.
Not a commercial hit, but like it's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I can understand where you come from on that one. Yeah.
Ready for
that
number
leaves
one?
One more.
All right, number 1. I don't know if you guys will expect this or not, but it is Tupac.
Nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this. Yeah. I have no issues with this. Him being number 1. Absolutely no.
This man, the way that just the way he rhymed with so much passion and energy, like it just put you in whatever he was saying. Like you
Mhm.
just would visualize
Mm.
everything this man's saying. I can't speak enough about Tupac. I wish he was still around.
He had a short career. Imagine
yeah.
if he was still around, how many
Yep.
more songs he would
Yeah.
have made.
Oh,
He'd be
absolutely.
producing probably.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
bring up the
And
next generation. Oh.
And he was so smart. Just he was always into like government issues and all that
Mhm.
stuff, and always speaking out about stuff.
Mhm.
Even since he was, there's a video of him like he was 18, I think, talking about all these things,
Mm.
like,
Yeah, you
Just-
forget about that too. Like when he was starting to get big, he was really young.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very young
Oh
actually.
yeah.
'Cause didn't he died when he was like 25?
Yeah.
Around
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Any honorable mentions?
I feel like there's a lot of honorable mentions in this case.
You guys got any honorable mentions?
Okay,
Let's hear
so
it.
off the top of my head, I was gonna say I'm surprised you don't have Yee on here, but I kind of get it to a degree. Wheezy, I'm surprised you don't have on here a little bit.
I'm a little older than you, so
Yeah, that's fair.
I think my list shows that a little bit.
It's that is fair. I will give you that. I'm surprised. Yeah, Wheezy
Yeah.
on.
That makes sense.
Wheezy was one that I also like didn't really appreciate at the time.
Mm.
I don't know why, honestly. I think it was just everybody was playing him, and I just didn't care to hear
Yeah.
it all the time.
Honestly, you could make an argument for Ice Cube just because of his
yeah.
NWA
Mhm.
run in America's Most Wanted
he's
and all
got
that. Because if we're
great
talking
discography.
if we're talking rappers, like the dude has like the ability to rhyme like no other
Mhm.
probably. So I can make that case. God, I mean I'm probably blanking on.
I'm
some-
sure a couple people will say like Mac Miller.
Yeah,
Local.
Yeah.
Probably more so locally.
yeah.
Um,
I can see some good reasonings for a lot of these, honestly. So Andre
3000.
Andre 3000 is actually
awesome.
actually an interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but that's actually a good pull.
Yeah, Dre producing, 100%. I mean, Dre rapping's depending on who's writing for him.
Yeah,
really.
that's fair. Like Dre is definitely like a kingpin in that case, but like Dre was never a good rapper. He even pointed out on like I mean, like I think Eazy-E made fun of him too a couple times and stuff because he was never the one that like did the singing in NWA. He just he wrote and he produced everything.
but Dre is a good commenter.
Yeah, he is.
So we welcome all your comments.
Yeah,
tonight, Dre.
no Snoop
Thanks
Dogg
for
actually.
joining
That's
us.
actually a good one. Snoop Dogg should I feel like
Yeah,
is also
Snoop.
one that's decent.
I don't
Tech 9.
Oh
I-
man.
I
In
like
terms of
Tech Nine a
speed
lot.
rap, that's fair.
Tech 9 for me though. The more albums he put out, I feel like he was putting out albums like so close together that he wasn't like actually putting really any time and real effort into the stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
Ti.
I like Ti.
Ti is
don't-
actually a good pull actually.
I would say Ludacris over Ti.
In terms of being funny, that's actually a good one.
Even then, like his lyricism is, I think, better. He had a lot of hits too.
50 Cent.
50 Cent.
Great businessman, I'll give you that.
Hey, get rich or die trying. Greatest album ever.
So pretty
That's
good.
what Dre said.
Pretty good top 10. You agree?
That's interesting. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Jeezy over Luda.
Young Jeezy, I do remember like Jeezy was the shit when I
That's a
when I
tough
was
call,
in high
man, I
school.
think.
Yeah.
Just tell him about your cuz.
2 times in one.
Two
nickel.
times in one nickel. Oh shit. my cousin Ryan, we used to be little thugs, and
You were one of those kids that wore GUnit stuff, weren't you?
No. I never had the GUnit stuff, but like what we wore was just baggy pants and everything, And my cousin kinda would look like a white 50 Cent a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
So we make fun of him, call him 2 dimes and 1 nickel.
Okay. That's fair.
That's hilarious.
I think his dad came up with that one, to be honest.
Yeah. No, honestly, man, I think this was a fair top 10.
Thank you.
There's a lot of stuff that I think is up for discussion, but I think you nailed the heavy hitters though.
Thank you.
But
Appreciate it.
J. Cole,
is your top 10 too. So
yeah, it is your
Like
top,
you said,
and you
top 10,
and you
there's
even
the
said
definitive one.
you did say at the beginning it was the definitive one. So yeah, we can't argue
I
against it.
respect everybody else's, but this is where it is.
Yeah.
This is where it stops and ends.
The J. Cole one I think threw us for a loop a little bit, but I respect that one actually.
That's a good point.
Why am I not
why
on
aren't
the
you
list?
on your list?
I don't know. I never really put out an album.
You should get on that.
We're trying. I wanted him to come up with a rap for the show.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going?
Well, he did one at the beginning. Technically, he did one at the beginning for the intro.
He
That's
wants, like, a
true.
theme.
Oh, he wants a theme. Gotcha.
One of these days, I'll actually. I still write, but I haven't recorded anything in. I don't even know. 10 years.
It happens. All right. 400. Thank
All
you
right.
thank you so
thanks
much
for
for
joining.
joining, and we
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
We
guys.
appreciate it.
I
Hopefully,
appreciate you having me.
hopefully Austin will be back from his sabbatical next week. God forbid, honestly. I mean, we would welcome you back as like the full-time replacement at this rate.
I was gonna say if Austin comes here, we should just have a bunch of Taco Bell ready.
He'll be so
Man.
he'll be excited and upset
Just
at the
run to
same
the
time.
bathroom.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, technically, when he was in here last week, he forgot where the bathroom was here because he hasn't been here in that much. So
Some guy had to walk him to the bathroom.
it was like, yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
was like a dad escorting his son to the bathroom.
Yeah,
It was hilarious.
Dre likes the list.
Thank you, Dre. I appreciate
Looks
it,
like
man.
you got fans, so no one hates it.
Yeah, which is saying a
That's
lot.
good.
Which is saying a lot because there's a lot of people that don't like the ranking. So it makes sense.
I mean,
His
I get it.
rankings.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you, Chip.
it makes sense.
Appreciate that.
You are the people's
That
king.
means a
after
lot
all.
coming from you.
Mhm.
You as well, Dre.
So
Chip, did you find Tupac yet?
he's still on the hunt. So obviously, close out the show how you would like to. Anything that you would like to say to the people before we exit,
Or rap.
or rap. Yes, it's up
I
to
don't
you.
have a rap prepared for that, and
All
I
right.
can't freestyle. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But everyone, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you having me as your RankKing / RapKing. Do you want to do the honors, or do you want?
Well, I mean, as the guest here, I will hold it for you. So
Oh, I appreciate that.
take this lovely gavel.
I'll give you $1 if you miss and hit Greg with it.
Don't do that.
I would never. All right, everyone. Court is adjourned.
Court is adjourned.